Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Bear vs. Wolf. We're going to do some lead guitar today in the Session from Scratch series. So here we go. I'm going to try to take some secondary video and show you the process that I'm going to use because I'm not going to plug directly in today. So here we go with that. So this is how I'm going to do my lead track today. I'm going to plug the guitar directly into the Agnator amp. That's going to come out the speaker output and go into this little guy, the torpedo captor in the back there, this speaker cable here. And then we're going to come into this is coming out of the torpedo captor on a microphone cable. And then we travel over here, and that cable is going in to the interface here, the Apollo. And then to get the cab sounds, we use, you'll see it on the screen. And then to get the cab sounds, we are going to use Torpedo Wall of Sounds, and I use Ownhammer impulses. If you don't know what that stuff is, you can Google it, search other videos that'll explain it for you, but that's how I do things. And so we're going to cut to that as a setup here. Okay, so I'm all tuned up, and the next step is to bring the audio into Pro Tools. So what I like to do, I like to slide this guy over. I like to keep my guitar tracks together. So I'm going to double click on the track. We're going to call this one lead guitar. Oh, guess we're going to have to use lead guitar 2. Actually, what I'm going to do, yeah. We used this track before, so we had this track going that is strums, basically. So we're going to use that for that. So now, when I bring this audio in, we go to interface. I'm going to go to mic line 2, which is where that's coming in. And when I hit input, and I got to turn my amp on, we should hear. So now different from last time, as I showed you, not plugged straight into my interface. I'm using an amplifier and using what's called a load box to take the speaker out of the equation. So here I'll show you what I do to add the speaker back into the equation. Bring a little plug in here called 2 Notes Wall of Sound. A little taxing, so it might take a second. Okay, so we're loaded up now. That took a second to process, basically. And so I'm not going to go into all the details here either. That's a whole other video. But I'm just going to use a preset from up here that I use for stuff. So what I'm doing, I am, again, basically mimicking the speakers of a cabinet, simulating the cabinet inside the computer. And that's what these impulses do. So again, I'm not going to go into any more detail than that for now. But now we have a guitar. I'm just going to quickly tune again. Okay, we are now in tune. Had a little tuning issues there, but so here's the track. Kind of a, I don't know, rock classic, rock country-ish kind of track, I don't know. And so we're going to add some lead guitar. And again, we use input mode to make sure that we can hear that track. So as it plays, Okay, so I kind of like that sound, but I want a little bit more gain. And so I'm going to go right to my amp. Since I'm using a real amp, you just turn the gain up. And get... And just get a little bit more punch to that track. So now... Sorry, my guitar is not in tune, so I'm going to take a break and cut to that. Hey, we're back again. Hopefully my guitar is a little bit more in tune this time. So here we go. So that's just fine. For the purpose of this video, again, I'm not worried about really what the music sounds like, just showing you how to make this stuff work. So we go to record. We're going to hit record here, hit play. We're going to get 2 bars of count off, and then we're going to start recording. Good. So that sounded pretty good. I made a little bit of a mistake there at the end, and we might try to clean that up. So that gives us an opportunity to talk about punching. So a lot of times when you're recording live instruments, if you have a little experience, you might know, you make mistakes. And so what we can do is we can punch into the recording that we just made. So I made a little mistake there. It's okay. So we could record the whole thing again. We could... A really nice spot to do it would be right here. As you can see on the computer, there's a little bit of a gap there, and so we could, that would be an easy spot to punch in. It's also a little bit out of tune at that point, so I'm not happy with that either. So what I'll do, I'm going to make sure we are in, well, we could use quick punch and some other things. We don't even need to do that. So what I'll do is I'll bring up the transport. Oh, it's already up. And I'm going to start recording right here and just what's called punch in to this spot. And again, we're still going to get a 2-bar count off. We could turn on these little flags up here are what's called a pre and a post roll. And if you go under options or hit Apple K, it's going to make those flags yellow. And so now when I hit play, well, first of all, we're going to get a count off. I can hear now this audio rather than just punching in right on this spot. So when I go to record this, it's going to be a little easier now that I can hear it. So I hit record, I hit play. Pro Tools is going to start recording right here on the insertion cursor where it's blinking, but I'm going to hear this stuff. And actually, I'm going to turn the count off for a minute. so that it will just start from here instead of giving me 2 bars, which I don't need. I'm just going to hear the music this way. So here we go. But I am going to tune again real quick because I'm out of tune again. Okay, so for guitar players, I have pretty old strings on this guitar, and that's the problem. The strings need to be replaced on this guitar. They're just not staying in tune. But I'll be done before the next video. So here we go. I'm going to hit play on the record, and we're going to punch in. There you go. So you can see on the screen it started right where the insertion cursor was, and it went a little farther, and it would have kept going and recording, but our loop is over. So I'm going to make sure I'm in grid mode so that while I do this, it snaps to the grid. And I'll show you how to edit this. Since we have 2 pieces of audio now laying on top of each other, what can happen is you can get clicks, pops, things like that. So I'm going to listen real quick. So I don't hear much, but, and I'm going to turn off post-roll, pre and post-roll now. We don't need that anymore. I don't hear much, but I like to put things in anyways. So what I do, I zoom way, way in. I'm going to trim this up to where I wanted that to start recording. Oh, we can actually trim back, so we got to do a little more than that. I'm going to go to slip mode, and now I can trim this back to here and expand this anywhere I want to, well, as long as it's to where it recorded from. So I'm going to make sure that these at least cover each other, like so. And I'm going to put what's called a crossfade in right here. I'm just going to grab. You can make it go as far as you want, but you can see there is some other audio coming up, so I want to make sure I don't get any of that in there. And a lot of times I actually will zoom way, way in and just make sure that the crossfade is way small. You can edit these crossfades, make them all kinds of different things, but I'm just going to make sure that it's down in here. And now when I play it, you don't hear anything at all. You can hear actually some some remnants of the other stuff. So actually what you could also do, so that's one way to do it, crossfade it out. And since there's some weirdness, actually I can just select this, delete, come back, make sure that this one fades out. Nice. And again, I'm going to shape the fade down just by clicking and dragging. You can tell it where to go. And then over here, as we start, I can trim this back to just what I want. You know, I just want this little chunk here, so fade it in. And you can still hear some string in there. And that's okay, you know, for me, especially for this video. So now there is a gap in the audio, but that's okay. And you hear a little string there. Yeah, so, you know, I slid down and got some other notes, which is fine for this video. So here we go. That is going to do it. Now we have a lead guitar track. I'm going to unsolo, and you can listen to the results. About audio sounds fine. It's coming together. And that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and save, and and we'll see you on the next video. I think next we might do some keyboards, some keys next. Show you how to do MIDI keys and stuff like that. So that might be the next video. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.